it's Megan. You're watching Miss Megan Knits. It's so nice to have you all here today. I'm just going to go through and share some of the stuff I've been working on with you since it's my second podcast episode. Hopefully you guys will be able to see some of the progress I've made on pretty much everything except the blanket I was working on. I didn't make any progress on that this week. Shame, I know. But I got a lot of other stuff done, so I'm really excited about it. I really can't wait to... The dog is making noise. I got a lot of other stuff done. I'm really excited. I really can't wait to share it. So let's just get started. Oh, if you want to find me on Ravelry, links are below. I do design a little bit. So if anybody's interested in any of those, you can find them there. Also, links to everything else will be below, as well as the comment section and the like button and all that stuff, you know, the usual. So the first thing I wanted to talk to you guys about was a design that is now uploaded. I talked about it last week, or last episode, a little bit, and I just wanted to talk about it one more time because it is officially uploaded and onto Ravelry right now, and that is the Conroe hat. So this is the child size version that I'm holding up right now. This hat is available in sizes from 0 to 6 months, all the way up to adult man, which I don't have right here with me. I actually gifted that one. But the sizes have been tested by me personally. If they work out, if they don't work out, email me. It'll all be good. I'm really proud of this hat. I designed it for my grandfather who lives in Conroe, Texas. He needed a lighter weight hat for walking his dog in the morning. It's made of sport weight yarn, and the original yarn was actually Barocco, I'm going to butcher this, Quechua? Dog sneezing. Quechua? It's merino, yak, and alpaca, and this is made out of the original yarn. It is so soft. I don't even know what I'm going to do with this hat. I don't feel worthy of a hat like this because I never wear hats. So it's like, I'm going to have to find a place to give it, I guess. It's not machine washable though, so I'm not sure. Anyway, it was a really fun hat to knit. It has this embossed diamonds pattern all over the body of the hat, and the decreases are just your standard little spiral decreases. I always love looking at hat decreases. We'll talk about that a little bit later. There's a nice wide rib at the bottom, although of course you could substitute any rib that fits with the stitch count. I liked the wider rib with the diamonds, I don't know why. We see I have the gray one. This was a AC Moore yarn that I actually found in the studio samples by Nicole. So this is an acrylic, this is machine washable. It's not as soft, but it's quite nice. And this baby hat is made from scraps I found at Savers thrift store. Also where I got this sweater. So yeah, that's on Ravelry. I'll link to it. You'll be able to find it if you want to knit it. It's $5 because I made all the sizes. If I didn't make as many sizes, I wouldn't have made it quite so expensive. But I think $5 is reasonable for all the sizes you get. Okay, so that was like a finished object. I don't know if it was a finished object because I finished it last week, or last podcast, but I don't have any more finished objects, but I do have a half object for you guys. You can probably guess what it is if you saw my last podcast because it was the only thing I was working on that came in a pair. If I can pull it out without damaging anything. Yes. So these are my San Francisco socks. Let's see if I have notes here. So the leg here is 7 inches from the heel up. And then there's a 1/2 inch of twisted ribbing, and of course I'm showing it at the most unflattering angle, so I'm gonna twist it around. I didn't join the gap properly, I didn't skip over enough stitches, so it looks a little bit wonky right in the join. I'm just gonna leave it. They're gonna be on my feet, no one's gonna know. I'm gonna know, no one else is gonna know. I actually took this to church with me, I was working on the other one, and when people asked me, what are you working on, I pulled this out and said, here, this is the other one, you know? And a bunch of the old ladies were inspecting it and nobody said anything. So I think I'm in the clear. Yeah, so I've got this beautiful pink speckledy, almost like a watercolor looking, for most of the sock, including the cuff. And then for the heel and toe, I have this mini that's sparkly that does this kind of stripey thing. I don't know if you guys can see the stripey thing. But yeah, so I'm working on the second one. These were my vacation knitting, so I did both toes and then left them on waste yarn. So starting the second sock wasn't as hard because I didn't have to do the whole toe or anything. I just picked up the stitches right here. I gestured with my thumb in the back. You couldn't see that. Right here. And I kept going. So this is what I have so far. Oh, I have a sad tale involving my sock here. When I was doing the ribbing, I discovered that I didn't have the appropriate number of stitches to do a rib. I had one fewer stitch than I was supposed to. And I looked and looked and looked all over the whole sock to try and figure out where I dropped a stitch and see if I could, quick and dirty fix, thread some yarn through it and tie it in the back and then weave in the ends, just so it wouldn't unravel, but I can't find it. I know I dropped it somewhere, but I don't know where. So it's gonna have to stay like that until I find it and fix it. In case you guys are curious where I was last podcast, I put a little marker there, like a progress keeper. I don't have fancy progress keepers, but I have stitch markers. So I put one right there, and then this is all the work that I did on the previous podcast, and then of course the toe was already done, but I did all this work in church, before church started. I got a lot of quotes about idle hands. Idle hands are the devil's workshop, I think. I'm a little young for that quote, I guess. But yeah, I guess you guys are curious what pattern and yarns I'm using. Okay. So the mini is Houndstooth Fiber Arts Twinkle 4-ply sock yarn base, 5% superwash merino wool, 25% nylon, 5% stellina in the colorway. I don't think it's 5% superwash merino wool. I read that last time and then I was editing and I thought it looked weird. It says 5%, but I think a number got cut off on the label. Oh no, Sophie. Shh. 20 and 5, so I think it should be 75% superwash merino wool, is what I'm saying. I think that's what it is. Because 5, 20, and 5 doesn't add up to 100, so. In the colorway Moonlight. I got this in San Francisco as a souvenir yarn. Just knit myself a pair of socks. And if I can find the other label in this sack, it's not a very big sack. So I should be able to find the other label. Here it is. So this is Comma Chameleon Yarn Company. I'm not exactly sure where they're located, but this is hand-dyed. This is a local somewhere. It's local to somewhere. Everything is local to somewhere. Comma Chameleon Yarn Co. This is their Hardy sock base, 75% merino, 25% nylon, not superwash. Not superwash. So I'm gonna have to hand wash these socks, which kind of sucks, but that's okay. I'll do it. I'm a knitter. We do these things, right? It's in the colorway Phosphorescent Rose. Hey, Wes. Oh my gosh, if I yell to ask my brother to be quiet, the dog's gonna bark, and that's gonna make even more noise. Okay, I think I can live with it. There's a bird. I think that's what I'm hearing now. There's a bird that's been trying to get into our bathroom window. It's like a cardinal or something, bright red, who keeps like flying into our window, like really aggressively. And he really wants in. And we're not gonna let him in, because like, then what do? How do you get him out, right? but he wants in our window. And I keep hearing like tapping, 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 tapping against the window. But when you walk into the bathroom to see him, he looks at you and flies away. So he doesn't want anything to do with us. Anywho, pattern. So I based, most of it is the toe up afterthought heel sock pattern from the Craftsy class. My first toe up socks. And I will link the pattern on Ravelry. I believe the Ravelry page has a link to get to the Craftsy class if you want to watch the whole class. It walks you through step by step how to do everything in this sock, including Judy's Magic Cast On both magic loop and double pointed needles. Yes, you can do Judy's Magic Cast On double pointed needles. I have done it. I do it frequently because that's the kind of needles I prefer to use, are double pointed needles. It's a little more fiddly than with magic loop because you don't get that flexibility of the things being on the cord, but it's totally doable. So if anybody tells you but it's totally doable. So if anybody tells you you can't use your favorite needle size to do, or not needle size, your favorite needle. So if anybody tells you you can't use your favorite needle to do Judy's Magic Cast On, they're wrong. It can work for like every needle configuration I can think of, except for probably a 9-inch circular. I can't think of a way you could do it on a 9-inch circular. So just forget everything I was telling you about your favorite needle. But it'll work for magic loop, it'll work for 2 circulars, it'll work for DPNs, it'll work for, I guess just those. Okay. Oh, and this bag is just a random drawstring bag my dad had lying around. He gave it to me. He gave me another one recently. It's like mesh, it's breathable, and I'm afraid a needle would poke out, so I've got to use that one for like a hat or something with a larger needle than the sock needles. It's still a cool bag too. It's got ventilation. Okay. So the other thing I was working on, dog. The look she's giving me. The other thing I was working on, as of last podcast was a girl from the grocery store shawl, and I have made progress on that. I'm still on the main section of it. I haven't gotten to the lace. Here, I'll just show it before I go into anything else. This is a job lot bag I got for $6. It has lots of cool pockets. I actually carried this as my travel knitting bag when I went on vacation, and it had enough pockets to fit 2 projects in it. This shawl and that pair of socks actually both fit in this bag. Maybe not now that the shawl is bigger, but when I was first working on it and it was a little bit smaller, everything fit just fine. So, I'm going to show it before I say anything else, because last time I was just talking and talking and talking and I didn't actually show it for the longest time. It's getting big enough, I was a little worried it's going to fall off the knees. Okay. I really hope you guys can't hear that. Sorry if you can hear that. Somebody's taking a shower upstairs. This is the shawl. I'm going to kind of rock it back and forth again. It's much bigger now. So let me see. This is how much of it I had done as of last podcast. You can see my marker right here. Right here. So I had this much done. And I have added this much more. Which is a lot. I actually didn't realize I'd made that much progress. So, this is it. I'm using Malabrigo fingering weight yarn. No, Madelinetosh. I should get the label. I think it's in here. No, it is not. here we go. The yarn I am using, Mad Tosh hand-dyed yarns, Tosh Merino Light, 100% merino wool, fingering weight 420 yards, dyed by hand in Texas from wool ethically sourced in South Africa, MadeleineTosh.com. There's a big price sticker over the label on both of these. But that's the label. Or that was the label when I bought it over a year ago at Stitches in Connecticut. Anyway, looks like the colorways are Stormborn and Mad Leopard. The insides don't have a thing, so I think that's the colorway. I'm gonna show you again. So one of the colors is this cream that has speckles of gray and bright blue, bright electric blue. And the other colorway is this tonal gray. I should point with this finger. Is this tonal gray that goes with it. So I was talking about in the previous podcast how I didn't have enough yarn and what was I going to do about it. So I was thinking I would leave off the last striped section so that I'd have enough yarn. But when I got to my last striped section, I noticed I still had like a decent sized ball of yarn left, so I'm not about to go wasting it. So I threw in a lifeline. That's what this bright yellow yarn is right here. The lifeline is right in here. It's kind of hard to see in garter stitch, but there's my lifeline. In case I needed to rip back, if I only got like one more row and I thought it was going to look weird, I'd rip back to that point. And then I decided, okay, maybe I'll do a half section. So I did half of a section, and then I evaluated, and I still have yarn left. So then I said, okay, maybe I'll do 3/4 of a section. And then I did that much, and I still had yarn left. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to do a whole section or not, but I think I probably will. Because I still, ooh, it's caught in a zipper. Because I still have this much left of my yarn cake. So I think I should be okay. What a pleasant surprise. So yeah, I have my lifeline in there. I'm gonna keep going, see when I run out. And that's gonna be it. This way. Get back where you came from. Okay, from here on out, I have works in progress. So, I turn my page in my notes. My first work in progress is the Wharfdale sweater from the Knitter magazine, issue 117. It is the sweater on the cover. A little bit of glare, but I'm hoping you guys can see that. It's got the XO cable running down the front. It's got the fold over collar. It's mostly stockinette, all on the sleeves and on the back. There are more pictures of it right here. So this is a close-up of the cables. This is a better shot of the side and the bottom. Let's see if there's one more picture in here. Yes. So there's full body shot, and then there you can see the back a little bit better. Gorgeous redhead, blue sweater. I gotta make it. Yeah, I gotta make it. So, I'm working on it. The sweater is knit flat, completely flat. All aspects of it are flat. Even the neckline is flat, back and forth. And I haven't done anything stockinette flat in a really long time, but I'm kind of liking it. It's kind of relaxing. It's the kind of thing you can take to the Toyota dealership when your car needs service and just kind of work on it in the little waiting area thing, and then just shove it in your purse when the car is ready because you don't want to finish your row. That kind of thing is perfect. So here is mine. I'm using size 4 needles to achieve this. Oh, also worth noting, grocery store shawl, size 7 needles, San Francisco socks, size 2 needles. I actually used size 2 needles for the ribbing on the bottom here because they wanted to drop down by that much. And then I'm using size 4 needles for the stockinette section. I think it's coming out pretty well. Here's the back, reverse stockinette. This is the back of the sweater, so there's no cabling on this piece. It's just straight stockinette. There's no waist shaping. And it continues for many, many centimeters. So I'm finding it really relaxing and something I can just kind of pick up and put down in the middle of rows or whenever, because it's just simple stockinette. I can find where I am and don't have to worry about anything weird happening. The yarn I'm using, I finally got the info on the yarn I'm using. I think I have the tag. Maybe I don't. Maybe I'm still not prepared. No, I have the tag. This is the Fiber Co. Luma in the colorway Pearl River. A lofty blend of organic cotton, linen, merino wool, and silk. It's a DK weight yarn. It comes in 50-gram hanks. I had to buy like